Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Crystal Clear 101 with another toy review, and today I am going to be reviewing the Hunter Killer Tank by Best Lot. This is part of their Terminator line. This is one of two sets I know of that Best Lot has released. This set retails for about $9.99. However, depending on where you go, you can actually get this for, on average, around half that price. This set contains a little over 100 pieces. And let me go ahead and say, I like the idea of a Terminator building block set. Now, this is the front of the box. Let me go ahead and say, I do like the style of the Terminator font, that they're using from the original Terminator movie. I like the endoskeleton they show, and part of the endoskeleton head. Now, let me show the back of the box. And it basically shows what all your sets going to contain, pieces, what it's going to build. But this set was released in 2012. Now, upon saying that, let me go ahead and get from showing the box to actually showing what all the set builds. And this is the main thing that the set builds. Here is the Hunter Killer Tank. And as you can see with my hand right next to it, this is actually very, very small. Now, I have some pros and I have some cons about this tank. Let me go ahead and get the pros out of the way first. Number one, it's a Hunter Killer tank. That's the first thing. Number two, this is more of the Terminator 2 style of Hunter Killer tank. Because I've been watching Terminator 2 the last couple days. The HK tanks from the first movie only have one gun per side, whereas on Terminator 2, T2, they had two guns per side. And on top of that, they actually had armor up on the front of them. But, so this is more of the Terminator 2 style Hunter Killer. Now, another thing is that these treads do work. Let me see if I can get a show, but you can barely make it out, but those treads will roll. If I didn't have it on cloth, these would be rolling. But, yeah, these treads do roll. The upper carriage actually does spin very easily. Like, very easily. And on top of that, this set really didn't take too long to build. This probably took me about 8 minutes to build. So this is a very quick set to build. And on top of that, this is a good way to get a Hunter Killer tank without having to shell out a good bit of money for a nice looking replica. Now, my cons about this. Number one, some of these parts while I was building it did not want to stay on. Like these guns, for instance. The base where the gun goes, right here. These did not want to stay on. This piece right up here did not want to stay on worth a damn. I'm actually glad there was an extra piece on there. When I was putting the treads on, it felt like I was starting to put a little excess pressure as I started. If I would start here and I started to go to this other end for the second half of installing the treads, it felt like the wheels over here were starting to get a little too much pressure. I was afraid that these were pads that the wheels were on were going to snap. But on top of that, even while I was building it, it felt like parts of it did not want to stay on together. But I mean, that's something I've noticed in general when it comes to Best Lot sets. I mean, of all the companies that could have got this license, why Best Lot? Why not Lego? Why not Mega Bloks? I mean, Lego has been getting some killer licenses. Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, various Marvel and DC superheroes. Hell, they even recently got Minecraft. Mega Bloks, they got Halo, they got World of Warcraft. they've got a few other series as well, but Best Lock? How did Best Lock get their hands on this? But, I mean, that's just my personal complaints about it. But as far as this tank is concerned, if you're a hardcore Terminator fan, you know, this is a very, very nice little display piece, and that is what I would solely advise this as, is as a display piece, not not something to play with. Because parts of this do not want to stay on worth a damn. Now that I've talked about the tank itself, let's go on to the little minifigure and the weapon that he comes with. Now, this is the little minifigure that comes with a set. It's basically a little Terminator endoskeleton. I really couldn't tell if this is supposed to be like a T-800 or a T-700. But let me go ahead and bring this in, see if I can't show off that a little better. Alright. Now, I do like the fact they actually did paint the eyes, painted them red. The body, for the most part, is in a dull silver. Now, let me go ahead and say, first off, I like the idea of a Terminator endoskeleton minifigure. This does have some decent articulation. This figure is nothing but a series of swivels. The head, the base of the arm, the elbow, the waist, the base of each leg are all on swivels. So, you can really put this figure in some poses if you want to. But as far as my complaints about this little figure, number one, parts of this do not want to stay on. As you see, just moving his arm a little bit, well, his forearm rather, it popped right off. And this is my second one of these I've fooled with. On my first one, the base of this broke, the base of one of the legs broke. I mean, the quality control for this is abysmal. On top of that, if you actually pay attention, take a good look, you can actually notice little burrs in the plastic from where, they didn't properly finish it. And speaking of finish, there's just some poor detail all around it. I mean, yes, they did put some details into this. And on first glance, this does look pretty decent until you actually take a closer look at it. But the overall finish of this is mediocre. And the quality plastic they use for this figure is just poor, in my opinion. Especially when you compare it to a Lego or a Mega Block figure. But, I mean, it's cool to see a little Terminator endoskeleton minifigure. Now, as far as the weapon he comes with, it's a little minigun. Now, this by itself is actually pretty cool. I mean, you can have the figure hold the minigun by itself. This does come off a little tripod. However, the way these handles are positioned, he cannot hold it too easily. And on top of that, he actually holds this away from his body. So the only way he'll be able to stand with it is with the elbow belt folded down and put against the ground. Alright, I couldn't get him to hold that minigun properly without his arms constantly popping off. However, the one thing I can say, especially with him being a Best Lot figure, is that if you get another military type set and you're able to get this assault rifle, then he can hold that with absolutely no issues. Matter of fact, he then looks fairly decent. And the one thing I can say about this minigun is it is actually a very nice little extra thing to have, a very nice little accessory that you can put with either another Best Lot set or possibly another, or possibly even with a Lego set. So, that's actually a nice little thing to have. And that actually reminds me of the minigun that's available through brickarms.com. And that one is like $8 last I checked. So to actually get this with this little set, it's actually pretty nice. It's actually pretty nice. Alright, now what's my overall verdict on this set? If you are a die-hard Terminator fan, I think you will like it. I mean, it's a hunter killer tank. It's the Terminator 2 version. There's a T700, T800 Terminator endoskeleton minifigure. You get a minigun, which you can use with another set. Which, in my opinion, the $5, it is worth it. However, if you're looking to get this for a little kid, if they want it because, you know, it looks cool, it has, you know, basically a little robot that holds a gun, I will say this tank will constantly fall apart, and it may actually just frustrate them more than anything. So, in that regard, I would honestly pass on this. I just wish another company could have got this brand. But, again, if you're a Terminator fan, I do recommend it. It makes for a very nice little shelf display piece. Other than that, I would personally avoid this. But that's going to wrap up this review on Best Lot's Terminator Hunter Killer Tank. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe.